yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary.
Top 5 dead alive, only came to terrify. Every topic scary, we could lead the bravest paralyzed. Hope you're not at home alone, better keep the lights on. But if you love adrenaline, then welcome to the fright zone. Willie is the leader, the visionary dreamer. Gerard got the joke, scaredy cat the screamer. You gon' get this work, if you scared, go to church. This podcast is scariest, you heard it here first.
And he said that to me because I was like, I'm just excited that Jeepers Creepers is here. You know, I want to see the character again. But when because he's a huge lover of Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Yep, That's Scary. I'm your host, Willie May, and we have an awesome show for you today. I am so excited to bring our these special guests that we have coming onto our show today to talk about masks and silicones. So, bringing a new form of mask line to the market and industry. CFX, as founders of the silicone mask industry, is known for revolutionizing the haunt game so that haunt attraction guests can all at the scare actors quality, detail, second skin. And I'm so excited to have him on the show. But let's bring on my co-host, Gerard. What's up, man? How are you? How's it going?
What's up?
Oh, nothing much. How's your day been? How's your week been? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. My day started like 17 minutes ago.
Yes, I had to like wake you up again.
Well, I got home. I got off of work. By the time I got into bed, it was like 9 a.m. after work. So
it was 9 a.m. Oh my gosh. Hey, Josh Evans, how are you?
Yeah. So
hello,
but
Nicole, how are you? Sorry, I'm just saying hi to everybody. Welcome to the show.
Good.
Hey, everybody, come on in. Go ahead, as you were saying.
You know something I learned on the way home?
Yes,
it's Father's Day.
It is Father's Day.
So we got to make sure to thank all the fathers out there, all the way y'all handle your things. Because listen, even all the fathers out there who grew up, who strapped to the boots, laces, raised them kids. Thank you for being the dad them kids needed.
Thank you,
and the dad they have. And not only that, we want to thank all the terrible bad dads too. Because without you, I couldn't buy your daughter's booty hole pic for $19.99 on OnlyFans.
I'm so sorry about that, guys. But happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. We want to honor you for being a father and just being a man and raising kids, and just you're terrible, man. I don't know what comes out your mouth sometimes, and I'm just like, here we go.
Put on
a seatbelt, somebody. Jeez.
Your $19.99 booty hole on OnlyFans.
Stop. We got new guests coming in and everything. Like, anyways, that's Gerard. He says whatever comes out his mouth. He doesn't filter. There's no filter or anything. So please excuse him. But again, I'm your host, Willie May. I'm so excited to have you guys here. It's been a crazy like a week. I feel like it's been busy, but like not busy. Like there's so much going on. We're preparing for an awesome Halloween season. We have well, first of all, I think this is the year where there are no politician races happening, so no one trying to campaign to be a president. There's no COVID, so this is the actual first year from after COVID and the presidential race since we actually have. Are you okay? Are you all right?
I was coughing. It's like, I'm fantastic.
Sorry.
I just muted a second cough.
So I feel like it's going to be a good year for everyone in the haunt game and the horror game. And oh my gosh, it's like, and there's so many people getting ready for these horror cons. I'm like, I know what Spookula happened. Am I saying it right? Spookula happened in Florida last weekend. It was a great success. So we got
I
some
swear to
other
God,
people. What?
is that another event? Is that another
It's
Halloween
another
event?
event. Yay, Molly Zombie's in the house. Hey, Molly Zombie. Oh, and I
I feel
want to wait before we go on. I want to say this. We first of all, if you're listening to our podcast and you're like, "Whoa, they sound great. They sound amazing," it's because of these amazing mics that were actually sponsored by our sponsor for our second season, which is Fear Expo. And we want to say thank you, a big thank you to Fear Expo for Fear Expo Live for actually stepping in and supporting us and supporting the show and giving us these amazing Shure mics so that we can have a quality. We sound great. Thank you. We do sound great. Thank you. Thank you. We're so excited to bring this good quality to you guys. It's been a minute. You know, again, when we jumped into doing podcasts, we didn't really do our homework. We just jumped right on in. We felt like we had so much to give and so much to talk about. And when we did that, we realized that our microphones weren't really up to par. And a lot of stuff happened. I mean, from sound breaking, popping, to the point where our listeners on our podcast was just not having it. They weren't having a good experience like the live show. And so again, we're so excited that Fear Expo Live came in and blessed us up with these awesome microphones. And I'm glad it actually has a good sound to it. So yay! Woohoo! How do you sound, Gerard? You sound pretty good on your end.
Oh, absolutely. I sound
Absolutely.
exactly like I normally do. Partially
Yeah.
hungover and ready to talk scary.
You said ready to talk scary. Let's go, baby. All right. So let's see here. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into our horror news in a minute. If I could pull it up. Uh, here we go. Wrong one. Here we go. I'm so sorry, guys. It's been a minute. Hold on. Let's get it right. Let's get our show right. Let's get the show right because we just really just played it and just watched the video. I couldn't believe we did that.
We're just gonna watch the intro.
All right, let's do it one more time. Okay, here we go.
Watch the intro one more time.
All right, so this is horror news in a minute, and we have with us Tom Hartley will be back as Venom in Sony's upcoming Venom 3. But when can you expect to see Eddie Brock and his BFF back on the big screen? According to new reports from Variety, Venom 3 is shooting for an October 2024 release. Let's go next. Okay, Evil Dead and Don't Breathe director Fede Alvarez is directing the next installment in the Alien franchise, which will notably be the first Alien movie released by Disney. Disney has just dated Alvarez Alien for October 16, 2024. Alvarez is directing the brand new Alien movie for 20th Century Fox, which is owned by Disney. Okay, we got some big news here. We have Joel and Ellie are headed to Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights with an official The Last of Us themed haunted attraction announced for this year's event. Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights dares guests to survive The Last of Us as a Naughty Dog and PlayStation's award-winning post-pandemic video game comes to life for the first time as an all-new haunted attraction at Universal Studios resorts beginning Friday, September 1st, and and at Universal Studios Hollywood beginning Thursday, September 7th. All right. Are you excited about that? We got some news, buddy.
Do you know what I heard in that news?
What?
The xenomorph queen is now a Disney princess.
How? What do you mean?
Because it's a queen being released from Disney. The xenomorph queen is now a Disney princess. I didn't know. I forgot that Disney bought Fox. I can't wait. Are they like rebooting the franchise?
Disney bought. Yes, Disney. I can't believe you said that. But yes, Disney always owned Fox. Owns Fox Searchlights. They own 20th Century Fox, of course, and they always owned it. It's just you just never knew. They didn't slap.
I never put the two together. You know.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. Then I'm excited for Halloween Horror Nights. Are you gonna go?
So is it a reboot or is it like a continuation?
Like, what do you mean?
Storyline from God, what's the last one they did? It was one of the prequel movies. What was it? They went to space, they met the big bald dudes and the engineers. And what was there was a sequel to the it was a prequel to the Alien movies.
Oh, I'm on Horror Nights. I asked you a question if you're going to go to Horror Nights. The Alien is going to be nope. Yeah, they did a prequel. You're right, they did a prequel. So this would be following the sequel, I believe. No, whatever. If you guys know the answer, please correct us because I'm lost. And I just watched Alien Covenant last night with my dad. So
I refuse to watch it.
Why?
I refuse to watch that. I did not like the prequel series. I like the Alien series. I wasn't that big fan.
Josh.
Prometheus, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Josh. Okay, so let's actually jump into horror. Actually, skip your ticket because our guests are literally going to be in here really soon here, and there's so much to talk about. Because I really want to talk to them about just the beginning of CFX, the company, the beginning of like silicone masks, and then going on from there because it was their masks were just top of the line when they first hit the market, and I bought. I don't remember how many I bought from them, but
too many.
Man, it was so expensive. It was so expensive when I first purchased them. But you know what? We took care of those masks and made sure that they were going to be worth every penny. Yes. Thank you, Josh. Yes.
Well, don't they?
Go ahead.
Don't they ship them out with those big premium boxes? If I remember correctly.
Yes. Oh, yes. I mean, I remember I put in my Mazda like
it's like
three big boxes, and they had the Joe head and everything. Yeah. So I'm so proud of the achievements that this company has been doing. I mean, they've been in movies, and you've seen their mask at like notable haunted attractions around the world. So we're so excited about that. So let's go ahead and jump into Ticket or Skip It. You ready?
All right. It's about that time for.
I swear, I think they moved our channels all around. I can't find our stuff.
Did they update the system?
Oh, well, I went off. I kind of yelled at them this weekend. We got our money back, but there it is. All right, here we go. Let's do it.
Take it or skip it, stream it or miss it.
Follow Her, out now on video on demand. When a small town writer get the chance of a big name writer and then takes a terrible turn. Now you are following this girl as she fights her way off through this movie. This movie shall end. What did I write? Now sit back and take a look at Follow Her. Let's take a look at this terrible movie I described. Are you ready?
To be tortured? Of course. Finally. 5 million followers. I have confirmed the screenwriting job.
A job? Did you say a job?
Yeah, I have jobs. So join me on Wednesday when I'm meeting Tom B in the park.
I'm Tom.
How are you?
Well, I'm better now that I found my co-writer.
You live in a barn?
What do you think of the idea of creating the story through improv? I think it would be so much fun to really live inside these characters' heads.
This is the part where Tom reveals himself.
You social media stars, you think the world is all about your content. How about this? You come up with the next part of the script, and then we'll improvise, see how it pans out. Who survived?
What do you want from me? Hello?
Crazy. That's crazy.
That's follow her.
Yeah.
I
Where'd you
don't
find
need
that
to
one at?
drink and pick ticketers. I don't remember. I do not remember. This is a long weekend. Let's just put it this way. This is follow her. I guess I wanted to say when a small town writer links up with a big town. I just read my scripts, and one of my scripts says, "Good luck, drunk." I wrote this while drunk.
Would you please stop working while drunk, please? Like it's not working for us.
No,
You
it's
know what I mean?
not. You know, this is not at all. I picked a
Skip notes to the
theme. There's a
breeze.
theme. Please,
Yes.
please let me know if anybody did see the theme for this week.
Well, they have to
This
see
is gonna
all
be
three
skipping
movies
for me.
together. Okay.
This
ahead.
is a skip it for me. What about you?
This is skipping for me. I just didn't get it. I got it, but I just didn't. It's just one of those things that don't appeal to my interest.
You know what it is? It's the
What?
modern day horror movies I've been seeing. It's like they're involving social media, and it doesn't sit well with me at all. You know, the
Yeah.
only one I think that actually sit well with me was the Hulu one. When the meme that went around.
Grim Cuddy or
Yeah, Grim Cuddy did it well.
Mhm. Yeah.
But these modern day horror movies, I can't get behind it when the social media with it. It doesn't work for me.
Molly's the zombie says skip it, so we're gonna skip
Yep.
that one. All right.
The Flood coming out July 14th. I know what you're thinking. What the fuck, Gerard, when he picked a Flooded? Well, mostly I wanted to keep with the theme for this week, but then blonde, guns, and gators sign me up and give me a drink because I'm gonna sit down and watch this. Now check the swimming pool for gators and let's take a look at the Flood. Jesus.
Well, it looks like this is home for the night. Goddamn wind.
Clarence? Local officials have declared a statewide emergency as these unprecedented storms continue to rage.
Sure. Got a bus full of prisoners heading our way. Got caught in the storm and need a place to hunker down until it's safe. Want you on your best behavior while we're here.
Let's get a few things straight. You're in my house now. I will not hesitate to shoot you if I have to.
Y'all don't think this is cruel and unusual right here?
You hear that?
Can you please tell me how an alligator got in your damn police station?
Storm brought him in. Could be infested with him by now.
If you want to survive the night, we're gonna have to find a way to get along.
Keep an eye on him.
That's a bona fide cop killer right there. We're all gonna get eaten alive. Shoot this one!
You got one shot, Sheriff.
I hear it tastes like chicken.
Flooded. Why do they always want to make alligators the bad guys? Like, it doesn't fit there. Crocodiles are fish eaters. They very rarely ever attack humans. Alligators.
Did you see that one dude who was taking a piss in Florida and got his
I don't watch guys peeing often.
Okay, whatever. So what is this? Is it a ticket for you? Is this one of those movies that you're going to be watching?
The CGI got a lot worse since I've seen that trailer. No, I don't think I'm going to be watching this one either. I actually don't. What about you?
Can you hear me type? Can you hear me type with these new mics? Can you guys hear me type with these new mics? I'm sorry. I can hear myself typing in here.
No, I can't hear you type.
You know, if it's not a bear sniffing on cocaine, I don't want to see it. I watched Cocaine Bear the other day. And it's so far-fetched. I was like, this is crazy. Yes, Josh Evans says the Crawl. Yes, that was a alligator movie. But again, we're gonna see
that was a South Korean one, right?
I don't know, but we're gonna see more of these animal villains come into place. You know, look, you got Jaws being the first out of the gate for our horror culture. But you're gonna see more of these animals getting revenge on human beings and being that villain. I think.
If you want to talk about the first animal villain, you got to look at probably even further back at them.
Them
with the giant ants, or the Attack of the Giant Gila monster. I think they came around at the same time.
I just don't go I don't go that far back. I need to. He said, "Nope." What, the aliens or Nope? Nope, the movie. Josh Evans, let us know. Nope. What do you mean, Nope? Oh, Molly the Zombie says no too. What are y'all talking about?
They're talking about the film. This is a skip.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's a skip. It's a skip. Yep, it's a skip. I'm sorry. We're all over the place today. All right, go ahead.
Angry Black Woman and Her Monster, out now in theaters. You know, this film sticks out to me as a modern-day reimagining of Frankenstein, which can quite possibly do the same as that film did, which makes us wonder which of us is the real monster. You know? I don't know. Maybe I'm way too drunk to be writing this script, but who knows? Here we are now, and I'm sitting here going to continue to read this out loud let's check out Black Girl with a Monster. I'm going to kill myself.
Death is a disease. It infected my brother Chris. My hypothesis, there's a cure.
Your daughter has a very disturbing obsession.
What obsession?
Death.
Just think about your brother. You didn't have the chance to bury him. Just wish I could catch who took his body.
Death is the disease that broke my family. I'm sick of seeing it.
What Jada be running around here calling you some type of mad scientist?
Can I hang out with my friend?
What friend?
Chris.
Where did you see him?
He talks to me. Ew. He's here.
What are you doing?
I didn't mean for this to happen.
believed it. Death is a disease. There's a cure.
Interesting.
You know, I could see where I was going with this. I was trying to get actually philosophical with the writing the script. You know, it's reimagining of Frankenstein. That's what it is. You know, and it's trying to question who is the real monster, like Frankenstein did before. You know, Frankenstein wasn't the monster. It turned out to be not what was it turned out to literally be Dr. Frankenstein himself for playing God.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same situation here. Who's the monster? You know, it's sad when somebody dies, but we can't bring them back to life. That ain't our job. And they had to get this ordeal going on. So I think this is actually going to be a ticket for me. It's going to be streaming for me. I'm going to watch it when it comes out.
Yeah, I agree. This is very interesting, and I dig, you know, black horror culture as well, because it's so unique in how it portraying these stories. But like, man, I kind of have my own experience of an angry black girl. Because I grew up with two sisters, and when they got their period, it was an angry black girl and an angry monster every once in a month, and I got sick and tired of it.
Oh God! See. Where's my little clip? You know, just going.
No. I was like, when I saw this movie, I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna tell my story. Anywho.
So, you know what I was thinking today, because it's Father's Day.
Yes, there's a ticket.
Oh yeah. So first off, I am so glad I literally thought I messed this up this week. I thought we were gonna have a straight flush of nopes and skips.
No,
so thank God it didn't.
Pretty interesting. Yeah, so I'm gonna watch that one. But what were you saying about the Father's Day?
Actually, real quick, the theme was women leading horror movies this week.
Nice. Okay, I can see that.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I don't know why I picked it for Father's Day. We're still women leading horror movies. But you know what? I remembered the first time I dragged my dad to go work in a haunt. I think you were actually there with me, Willie. My dad's like, it's like, hey, Dad, you will go work this haunt? He's like, well, I guess we could try. You know, I was short staffed and I needed somebody else to work in the butcher shop. So we handed my dad a chainsaw. Jesus, goodness gracious. That man took it to like duck on water,
level.
you know?
The next level, yeah.
Oh, and we got a little glimpse of it throughout because he was helping set dress the slaughterhouse. He's just, oh, look at this, and just throwing stuff up. He fell in love with it. And we're just like, we show up like, okay, let's see what Dad did. Okay, he's bracing it up good. And, you know, we put him in there just to brace it up because it was the pallet maze. He went in to brace it up. Okay, it's bracing up good. So can I start hanging some stuff up? I'm like, yeah, it's a slaughterhouse. You can't fuck it up. Yeah, go ahead and start laying some.
Yeah. Oh. He took anything and everything and went to town on that in the section and took what our imagination in our heads and really brought it to life. But just his creativity and his just how he like staged things. I never knew he had it in him to be a haunter, a true haunter. Never would have. I thought he was gonna be like one of those dads. It's like, hey, give me a chainsaw and I'll help out and I'll scare and come in, in and out. But like he really took it upon himself to like have ownership of his area, and that was really cool. And to see him have fun with it and just his imagination go crazy, I was really shocked.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Where do we go? But yeah, it's I don't know if anybody can hear this, but what was that beeping? I don't know. But it's kind of funny. We told my dad have free range. Go grab some stuff. We had piles of bones and stuff. He just started hammering stuff in. But yeah, take whatever you need. Let's just start building. Here's a stack of stuff. Apparently, when I go, here's a stack of stuff, he thought I went, here's a stack of stuff, like everywhere. So he went over to my brand new distortion prop that was still in the box.
Oh, yeah.
This $700 animatronic that's meant for a whole nother scene, which we in his defense, we never got that scene up. But he's just like, here's a cool dummy. It took this thing, and I'm like, okay, let me try to figure out how to hang this thing up, at least in this scene. You know, something so it's not just a dead scene. And I'm like,
Right.
the fuck is this thing? It was just here. Who ran off of my dummy? And I'm like walking the property. Oh, maybe somebody brought it to the scene. So my ass is walking all the way back there. I'm
No,
like,
he had it. He
it's
had it in
not
the
back
scene.
here. I looked everywhere for he, and I finally walked the whole haunt. He's just, look at this, look what I found, and hung up. Like, yeah, you definitely found this $800 prop and just hung it up right here. You
Yeah.
plug it in
Yeah.
to do stuff. Like, yeah, man, we just plug it in right here. I got this extension cord running over. I'm like,
He was so excited.
keep it. I ain't got a way
He
to
was
hang it
so
up. Just
excited.
keep it there.
I remember you came to me and was like, "Hey, Willie, my dad's here. He's really helping out. He's really liking his area. Could we just keep what he's doing so like we don't disappoint him?" I'm like, "Yeah, look, I got to choose my battles. Go ahead. You just got to
Dude,
choose your battles when you do a haunt."
He went off. I'm telling you, if you got a decorated redneck scene, a slaughterhouse, or something similar to along those, he's got it. You can just have fun. Just go have fun with this, And he just went off. He was like he did some lighting design in his redneck manner. He had these light, when you buy used haunt equipment, there's these random string of lights. Like, I don't know what we're going to do with this. He found uses for them. And he encaved the one side of the haunt, and he put a fogger. I'm like, God damn, he's grabbing everything. I guess this scene now has a fogger too. He's like wrapping the scene up so the fog stays in there.
We couldn't keep anything in his area. If you placed it near that section, he was going to use it, and so
he found a speaker. He found speakers, animatronics, foggers. I'm like,
yeah. I remember when my dad helped me out on my first attraction. Man, I was so nervous. I literally had 2 weeks to put it up, and I went home and I said, "You guys, this is what I'm doing." They're like, "What? You got a building?" I'm like, "Yes, I got a 20,000 square foot building, and I really need you guys to come and help me. And Dad, could you help be security? Because I don't have any security, but I got these security jackets." So I threw him a security jacket and just pace. But man, I loved having my dad support me in all my endeavors and just being there, just because being young and doing haunt, I was nerve wracking. It was scary at that time for me, and because it was my first one, and we had so much money, and the neighbor, the businesses around our shopping center was getting robbed, and so my dad, he just always had our support, always had my back, and whenever I needed him, I could not ask him to dress up like your dad and go, here's a chainsaw, go. He won't do that. My dad is a different dude. He will anything that's in his field that he learned for that trade or work, he's an electrician. So when I needed him to do some electricity work, yeah, he stepped right in and did it. But during operations, I couldn't get him to scare. I couldn't get him in makeup or a mask, but I did get him in a security jacket, and he totally stepped up. And I remember I almost got in a fight with the patron. I was so tired. It was a long night, and this patron pushes me. I'm like, dude, I'm getting in his face. I'm like, no. And then I'm looking at my dad. Where's security? Where's security? My dad's outside. He's outside looking at the line, looking at whatever he's doing. I'm like, come on, Dad, be a security. But it's so good to I just want to say happy Father's Day to my father, and happy Father's Day to your pops in Tennessee, Kevin, Isabel. We love you guys, and we love your support and just jumping around on in and helping us for that. I want to talk about this. Go ahead, Gerard.
It's funny you say that because I was on the way home from work this morning. I'm driving, and so one of my nurses told me, "Hey, it's Father's Day." I was like, "Oh my God!" It's just happenstance, and I happened to call him up. He said, "Hey, I'm surprised you're up." He's like, "Yeah, I'm just pulling a driveway." Hey, me too. We're both getting home at the same time. We just had a nice little conversation. Wish him happy Father's Day, and then went to bed. We both went to sleep. So it was just happenstance. So make sure to call your dad today if you got one. Appreciate them. And if you ain't
Yeah.
If you ain't got a dad, maybe call the person who was a father figure in your life. You know, do the right thing.
Yes, because we need more. We need more. Do the right things and more appreciation for one another. Okay, so Scare Actor Diaries. So let me just say this, Gerard. I'm so excited for Scare Actor Diaries. Scare Actor Diaries. If you guys haven't, if you don't know, it is a new segment that Yep the Scary is bringing, where we get to talk to scare actors and dish out their horror stories, being a scare actor. And I am so excited to do this. We actually had our first interview with Zach Gloras. Am I saying it right? Gloras. Zach Gloras, I think is his last name, from Sir Henry haunted trails in Florida. And oh my gosh, you know what, it's so funny. I thought he was going to bring some juicy story. He brought me like the haunt owner story, which I was like, okay, cool. But I thought he was going to bring me some like juicy, like, yeah, I was scaring this one girl, tripped over a rock and then bust her, head wide open, and I had to call insurance. Like, I thought it was like going to be something like that, or I got felt up by a girl when I was taking pictures, something crazy, right? No, it was just all it was like the smartest story for a haunt owner who plays a scare icon a character at a haunt. And I was like, okay, very diplomatic, very good choice. But I was waiting for that juicy, like, tell me something that I don't know. But again, you guys, it's we're compiling our scare actors. They're coming in and they're signing up and they're talking to me every like other day, and we're recording them, and we're gonna the idea is that we take these stories that we talk about and we turn them into real stories from where they have sound effects and everything like that, and it's really cool. Something new, something different that we're experimenting with here at Yep That's Scary, but it's going to be coming out soon. So please stay tuned for that, you guys. And if you are a scare actor that want to be on the show and tell your juicy story, please sign up. You can go to www.yepthatscary.com, or you can just go to our social media, click on our links, and then you can sign up right there. All right. Woo! Okay, so it's not halfway to Halloween anymore.
It's now just after half.
If your haunted house is not, if you haven't started working on your haunted house, man, it's not halfway to Halloween anymore. So, but if you are getting your 12-foot skeletons, please remember to pre-order them. I ain't afraid of ghosts. So I went to my local Home Depot to find my 12-foot skeleton because I wanted to get a start on it before anyone else gets a 12-foot skeleton and it'll be sold out. And to my surprise, I couldn't find a 12-foot skeleton. So I decided to go to a rep at Home Depot to figure out why can I not find my skeletons. Why are you skeletons? So I went to a Home Depot rep, this guy, and I asked him, where's the 12-foot skeletons? And he said,
if you're buying a 12 feet, or is it 12 feet, right?
Yes, 12 foot. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. You know your product.
12 foot of skeleton from Home Depot. Bring a truck, because it's going to be a big box.
The fuck? Duh.
Order online.
It's pre-sale only. You gotta order online. Well, this is Willie May at Home Depot with your Haunt Advisory Report. We ain't afraid of no ghosts. Back to you, Gerard. Gerard, what are you doing for the Halloween season?
The spookity ookity.
Don't even.
I have a list of haunts I will be going to see. I'm actually will be traveling the month of September to go see a friend of mine. And I will be actually in a whole different state for this haunt season. We'll go try to squeeze several haunts in during that time.
So you're doing the Yep That's Scary haunt reviews, which is something that we're excited to bring back. We did it last year, and we're going to be bringing back a whole new haunt review show. And our reviews have grown. Like, how many haunted houses are you doing?
I think I had 5 or 6, if I remember the list. The list is not in front of me at this very moment.
I think I got 6 or 7. and Kat has some as well. I'm just like, oof,
I remember
crazy.
I remember we were talking about this beforehand. My misunderstanding is that, God, Lee, this is going to be a haunt every weekend. I found I was getting like 9, 10 haunts, and like, we don't have to get one every weekend. I was like, thank God, man, this is going to be too much work. You know, I'm not saying that there's a difference between going to a haunt and then going to a haunt and trying to get the video of it, this and that. You know, it's an ordeal.
It is an ordeal. It's
But-
a whole production, but like we're ready to bring showcase some awesome haunts and get some real reviews and comments on it. And I'm excited to see it. But my dilemma is that I have to go to the haunted attractions like early in September. Like I have to first if there's a haunt coming in opening up in like September, I believe like Universal Studios is September 1st and 7th, but like I got to go to those first. I got to get those out the way, and any haunt that's opening up in September I got to go to, because my October is crazy because we have an awesome event that we're about to announce that I'm excited to share with everybody soon. But yeah, I'm really pumped about the haunt season. We've been waiting for it for way too long, and I'm excited that it's coming up soon. So I believe our guests are here today. Yeah, look at them. They look so beautiful. Look, you guys, I'm so excited. Well, first of all, let me just say this. Last time when we spoke to Tabitha and Josh, we were at Fear Expo, and we had the best, Gerard, we had the best conversation with them, didn't we? Like we talked about everything in the sun. We talked about guns. We talked about just history and the past and everything. And I looked at them. I was like, you know, when we first started Yep, That's Scary, I'm like, I need you guys to be on the show because this is our friendship, everything that we have. We just got to talk about it and just and get it out and let everyone know how cool you guys are. But they are the most coolest couple I've ever chilled with in the haunt game. Now you got the old couples that I like look up to and like writing notes like, how did y'all stay together this long and not kill yourself during haunt season? But like they're the chillest ones. Like I've never seen them like argue or like yell at each other. Like they have like a code word. They must have a code word. It must be like row tacos, get out my face, row tacos or something, because they don't ever like argue. And they have beautiful smiles and they share their love with everybody, and they're so excited to share CFX, and I'm so happy to have them on. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the spokesperson, the face of the company, CFX Mask, Tabitha and Josh Overturf. Hey guys, how are you?
Roll tacos,
right? Like you guys. First of all, welcome. Thank you guys for being on the show. We're so excited to have you guys, and it's good to see you guys. Are you guys taking a break? Are you guys like on a pause before the storm gets going?
What's that? I don't know what that is.
Well, you guys have so many shows like lined up. I mean, you guys are going to be doing the Mask Fest soon, Comic-Con coming up. And I'm like, do you guys get a chance to pause before the big craziness in the haunt season? No?
Yes and no. So, I mean, our pause is now ending. So we had a little bit of a slow season for trade shows anyway. Right after Fear Expo, we didn't have anything. But now we're going into the summer convention season, and we are hitting it full bore. We have Texas Haunters Convention that some of our team is heading up. Josh and I will be at San Diego Comic-Con with other members of our team the following weekend. And then, like you mentioned, we're going to be at Mask Fest, which is part of Horror Hound Weekend in early August. We're doing a local show in early September, and then rounding out the year. And then rounding out the year with IAPA. So, yeah, we're going to announce that new show, the local show, probably next week. But, yeah, so we are now hitting the ground running, and then we're throwing, haunt season in the middle of that somewhere.
Yeah. So for the people that are listening on a podcast or watching at home and they don't know like CFX, they must have heard of it or seen the logo somewhere. Could you guys just shout out a little bit about what is CFX Mask?
Exactly. So CFX Masks is exactly what it sounds like. We are silicone mask makers. We got our start in the haunted house industry in 2006. And we are silicone mask makers made for haunters by haunters. But we span the industry. You know, we don't just make masks for Halloween anymore. We do a lot of cosplays and other types of convention appearances. We do for film and TV work, in addition to a lot of prop work that we do for film and television. I think we do more prop work for film and TV than we do mask work. And I know Josh can attest to a lot of that stuff.
So that kind of goes to the name of the company, Composite Effects. It's multiple layers, right? And so the plan from the get-go was always we were going to attack the industry using silicone in a multiple, in a multitude of ways.
Yeah.
Now, just to clarify, Tabby and I didn't start CFX. We are the representatives of CFX. And so there was Kenny and Wes who started the company way back in 2005. Did a great job. And now we've kind of taken over and we've taken the reins to kind of represent the company.
Ken doesn't need to be in front of everybody. He's got a lot of other stuff that he should be taking care of. So that's what we're here for. We're here to sling the silicone, as I like to say, especially at all the trade shows.
Yeah.
With you guys.
And that's where the Composite Effects, so Kenny and Brett, our general manager, are kind of handling the film side of the company. We do some other medical stuff that we don't really talk a whole lot about, but it's just connected to the medical simulation industry. Nothing weird, but because silicone is so skin-like, we can represent skin in a lot of different ways. So we do animatronic skins and different things like that.
And then Josh is the mask operations manager over at CFX.
And so I round out the whole platform by handling the mask side. And as Willie knows, I'm a haunter at heart. Like that's where I got my start.
Yes.
I met Willie way back when in San Diego at a haunted house.
Yes. So you guys want to share your backgrounds a little bit about that? Tell us, go ahead, Josh.
All right, so I'll start. So I got started doing professional haunted houses in 1995.
Whoa,
boy! Yeah, I've been doing it for.
He just aged himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been doing it just for a little bit of time, and I started in Los Angeles, in California, and so my first haunt that I worked for was Universal Studios. So believe it or not, it was before Halloween Horror Nights. They were prototyping the Halloween events at the City Walk event, and so I participated in that. Sorry, I got distracted. My dog is up in the window right now, like getting.
I heard a little walking around.
Yeah. So, so that's where I got my start, and then I eventually moved to a haunt in San Diego called the Haunted Hotel, and they kind of dominate the San Diego market. They have 3 haunted houses down there: the Haunted Hotel, the Haunted Trail of Balboa Park, and Scream Zone at Del Mar, and wonderfully produced events. I worked with them for over a decade before I left to open up my own haunted house. And that's actually where I met Tabitha. And Tabitha, when I decided to go, hey, we're going to risk everything. And she goes, hey, I'm all in. Let's do it.
Good support. Yes, that's awesome. And then you guys took that adventure up north to do your own haunt. And then you guys moved and collab with CFX. So how was it moving in with CFX and picking up the pieces and picking up the torch to get the company going?
I mean, this is Maui. By the way, this is our
Maui
mascot. He comes with us to most trade shows. And
if you ever come to a trade show, you'll meet Maui.
He's most highly requested at trade shows, almost more than we are. Anyway, so when we were leaving the San Francisco Bay Area after closing Scarecrow, which is a haunt that we were running, Ken from CFX approached us after us being, consumers of the product for so long, and we were working with him at San Diego Comic-Con because that's where we were from. I've been going to that convention since I was a kid, so I know it's hanging out. And it just kind of came to a point where Ken's like, why don't you just come work for us full time? And it worked for us in a nutshell.
We were kind of done with California at that point. We had hit a bunch of regulation and just different things with the haunted house that made it not so appealing.
Right. So, it was a little bit of a culture shock moving all the way across the country from California to Baton Rouge. But so far, we love it. I mean, it's been fantastic being out here, being a core members of CFX, and really revolutionizing and reinvigorating a lot of people at CFX and for CFX. A lot of people were like, oh yeah, it kind of come to a point where like CFX was like kind of secondary in a lot of people's minds, and we're changing that. We're bringing that 360. We're bringing that back around to, you know, CFX is now in the forefront of people's minds because of the cool things that Josh and I are doing within the mask side.
And we're so excited to hear those.
Shot, honestly,
Yeah.
but you know, definitely driven on the mask front, because that's where everybody sees us right now. Like, we're doing really cool things for the medical and film side of stuff too, but no one gets to see that until later on down the line. So,
I gotta say this real quick. This might be halfway off top. I gotta be honest. I love y'all's setup. First off, they came.
I know, right?
They had snacks, drinks,
a
dogs.
hand, and the lighting. Oh wow! I thought
we do this for a living. We're prepared. We have snacks at hand. We have drinks. We're ready to go. We have props and whatever other little. If you got questions, we're ready for you.
Hi guys, what's up?
love it.
Because like I'm sitting here like, man, I need to step up. I mean, I really do.
Look. I mean, your background's falling down.
It's just
like,
down there.
Come on, man.
Well, just so you guys
He's
know,
slacking.
we're not
He's
even out at the shop.
Yeah, we're at home right now. Just
We're
so
at
you know.
home.
That's home.
This is home.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So
Yeah,
listen.
Tabby was like, "Should we go to the shop?" I'm like, "Nah, we'll turn some lights on."
Right in the living room. Let's go.
You got like a giant bat hanging
Over
from the
there,
ceiling.
our other couches over there.
Yeah,
it's good.
And you got the skull, like the skull kind of.
So
thing.
that is a
What is he?
Gorgalore.
Oh
This is
yeah. Okay.
From Gorgalore. He's one of the
Wow.
giant stock around wearable costumes. He
Right.
was one of our first big purchases when we opened Scareco up in the Bay Area.
Yeah, when we broke free, that was like one of the first things we bought was stock around. That was so we did an event that was like, it was kaiju based, and we filmed a bunch of stuff, and that's a puppet actually. So
a rod puppet.
yeah, it's a rod puppet, and so we did like a
Flies.
green screen background, and it attacked
That's
the
cool.
set. It sounds way cooler than it turned out.
The
Like,
concept was
I had a
amazing.
great idea. My
And it
skill
didn't pan
level wasn't quite
It-
there in terms of pulling it off just yet. But
We had hired some people and the product was less to be desired. But that's a long story for another time.
Hey, we learn from it, right?
We learned, exactly.
but
Yeah,
we are
we
kind of in
learn.
the trophy room right now, and so you can kind of see the shelves right there. Is
Love
obviously
it.
our personal collection of CFX masks. There's more that are kind of around the corner there, and I have an office full of them. But yeah.
That's so awesome.
We got a lot of stuff.
So you guys, let's talk about when CFX came out to the market. You know, they premiered their products at Transworld. And what is it? 05 or was it 2006?
2006.
Yeah,
was the first year they really went to market. CFX was a thing as a business in 2005. That's when they got their start. That's when they were still working at the 13th Gate. And all that jazz. But they went to market in 2006.
Yeah. So to clarify for everyone, CFX's creators got started in the makeup department of the 13th Gate Haunted House of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Which is where CFX is located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Which is
So
where we are.
we're 15 minutes down the street from the gate right now.
We'll be
Wow.
there
Well,
next
that's
week.
awesome.
So
Yeah, we're doing a photo shoot at the gate next week.
So tell us your reaction when CFX came out at Transworld. Like, what was your first thought seeing these masks, this silicone mask? Yeah.
So again, I'm a Halloween nerd, right? So I grew up doing haunted houses. Like when I was 13, 14 years old, I would take my stepdad's garage and I'd kick all the shit out. And pardon my language, I don't know if this is
No, go ahead.
whatever. But yeah, I'd kick all this stuff out, and then I'd let the neighborhood kids come through and would try to scare the crap out of them, me and a couple of friends. And then like it grew. My mom encouraged me one year to be like, "Hey, actually build a haunted house." And so I did when I was a little kid. Where was I going with this story? I got
CFX.
Oh, so yeah, but CFX. So the Halloween nerd, right? So I had all the latex masks. I had every Dawn Post thing that came out. Back in comic book ads where I'd have all of them, I'd send out for them. In fact, ask Tabby, I have a Rubbermaid in the other room, still full of all of them. They're all kind of starting to rot and get nasty. But I'm old enough too that I would watch Mission Impossible on TV, and like they had this little briefcase that they'd put on the table that'd scan your face and it'd create this cool little mask, and you'd go do your little gig. And as a kid, I was like, man, that's awesome. I want that. I always wanted like that form-fitting mask that you could just emote. And so it was my first year going to Transworld. I was working for the Haunted Hotel of San Diego at the time, and that was my reward. I was kind of at a manager position, and they're like, hey, come to Chicago. It was actually at Rosemont, I believe, is what it was at the
Where
time.
MXC is now is where Transworld used to be.
That's where Transworld used to be. And it was kind of cool because it was early in the year and it would snow and you would get there and you'd be all snowed in to the convention center, and like all the hotels had like these little walkways. And so you're forced to kind of assimilate with everybody. And that's how I met everybody, honestly, at the time. But I remember walking in, and Transworld was on like 3 different levels of the convention center. And so like the first level was like the party and costume side.
Halloween
And then upstairs was the Halloween side. And so you'd go up these escalators. I remember I went up the escalators and turned the corner, and CFX at the time, a 10 by 10 booth with like a little
Table.
6-foot card table in the front. And they
three
had
or four
3
masks.
masks. They had
Like-
Crusty Zombie, Belial Demon, and the Imp character, which is now our mascot character.
Yes.
And I remember walking around the corner just going like, ugh, frozen in my spot. And I went to the booth and everything like that. And I was like your typical, I was your typical boo haunter that was just out there like, give me your catalog, tell me everything. I want to try it on. And I stayed in the booth forever. And there was another silicone mask company out there at the time, SPFX, another wonderful silicone mask company, but they
forgot about them
that same year.
Was there.
And between CFX and SPFX, those guys could not lose me. And I literally told the guys at CFX, I'm like, I'm your new best friend. You don't know this yet, but I am your new best friend. And you see how things have turned out over the years.
We assimilated ourselves into the company, and it's kind of a joke, but it's also kind of not a joke.
But yeah, I was so blown away by these masks that's exactly what I had been looking for all my life, was like this mask that would go on. You know, like in the old days, I used to walk on stilts as my haunt character. So I used to always have to have good vision and be able to see and maneuver. So I would show t-shirts in the back of a latex mask. You might be able to see a latex mask or two back up in there that I used to do. But so I'd shove t-shirts in there just to get it flat on my face so that way I can see. It was just a pain in the butt all the time. Couldn't see or breathe. And then all of a sudden, boom, here's this mask. That's everything I've been looking for. And then I saw the price.
Yeah,
I mean, we've all seen the price tag of a silicone mask. And back then it wasn't as bad. It was only like $450.
But it scared us though. Let's be honest. I'm gonna be honest, because when I looked at the price, I was like, "Oh no!" Because look, when you know, as a haunt owner, you know, you always try to find the best thing, the best product that's gonna make your guests go ooh and ah. And when I saw the mask CFX masks for the first time, and seeing how they moved, how they breathed, how they really allowed the scare actor to have this freedom and a second skin, I was like, I gotta get it. I have to get that. And I remember walking up to CFX and seeing the price, and I was like, you know, it scared the crap out of me, and I just ran the opposite way. And then I had to like I had to take like therapy just to like realize, Willie, you're gonna go ahead and spend this money because you really want it. You really need this mask, you know, but again, we weren't paying that much for the masks. And so, but because it was so new and innovative, I felt like it was like kind of worth it. Go ahead.
And just so we're on the same page, you know, I'm looking on their website as we speak. I see masks I think their starting price about $500. Oh no, I found one for $450. Yeah. And let me tell you something, I'm a cheap son of a bitch, real cheap. I would buy these because these are worth it. I've worn them before, and the haunt owner almost didn't get them back. Let's just be honest.
So, I mean, like Willie was saying, especially what Josh was saying, like initially when the masks first came out, and especially the first generations of a lot of the silicone masks, it was a very new product to the haunt industry. So a lot of people were just nervous about the material itself. They had no idea. They knew latex, but they didn't know silicone. And so, you know, 15 years on, we have so much experience with this material.
People still have some of the same masks that they initially bought. We still have people that came to the booth.
Josh still has his very first mask that he bought at Transworld in like, what, 2009?
No way.
Yeah.
2008.
So it's still in perfect condition with the exception of a little bit of paint wear that he had to do from a hat that he's wearing.
But I mean, Willie probably, I think I probably had that when I first met Willie, but this is like the first Gen York. And you guys see,
Wow.
so this guy.
Yeah, hold him closer.
Can we put him on big screen?
I am. I'm about to do it right now.
Oh,
We
he
have-
doesn't even have
yeah,
any
he-
serial
this is
numbers or
before there was
anything.
even serial numbers or dates. That's how old this guy is right here.
Wow.
But we
But
understood
yeah.
that back in the day, silicone was a very untested material, so it was
Beautiful.
an educational product
This guy,
for a lot
yeah,
of people.
he has not had a repaint. If you
Wow.
look real closely around the edges, you'll see some shine in
Mhm.
here, and that's kind of from like where my costume would sit up against them.
Yeah, so he's
and
done
rub a little
of
bit.
repaint, a little bit of touch up on that.
But I mean, most of the shine is actually just from the like it getting worn off because there's a coating on it. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, look at that. I mean, you can't deny it. This thing is from what, 2008, 2009,
Yeah.
you said?
So
this,
at the time, I think I paid $450 for this guy.
Right.
And if you break that down, so 2008, and so I've had him for 14 years. And I use them as like I do. I
all
use
the
them
time.
nearly every single year. And he's just a subtle, like he's a total usable, not fragile or anything like that.
No. So we understand that it's an investment, but to
Yes.
educate the consumer on the product, it's like, hey, we understand it's a lot of money up front, but you're saving time and money in the makeup chair and putting the product on and taking it off. And the materials that you would normally need for a makeup job like that, and you get to use that for 10 plus years and multiple people can use it. Granted, obviously Josh bought that one. That's for us in our personal collection, but we ran a haunt. So we have at least a dozen other masks that at least 2 to 3 other people have worn in its lifespan. So that's the beauty of the silicone masks. Yeah.
oh yeah, and think about it. Even if you got like, let's say your mascot, you want to spend good money on the mascot. That's a line Q actor. Let's be quite frank and honest. As much as we would love to put all 30 actors in silicone and CFX masks, that we ain't gonna be able to do this. But your main actors, your Q line actors, run them. I think we've all seen haunts with CFS masks out there in the Q line, and we go inside like, I swear to God, I think that's a Walmart mask. I swear he just jumped out real quick, but I swear that was a Walmart mask.
Yeah. No, but so I'll be honest with you. If you come in at any of the conventions where I teach classes in my like Silicone 101 class, that's one of the things I cover is a silicone mask isn't for every purpose. Like, don't buy a $600 mask and throw it in a dark corner of your haunted house, where it's hot, and make the actors sit in there and sweat their asses off.
Yeah.
We get it. Again, we understand silicone
We
masks.
want to sell you
use
silicone masks for everything, but it's not.
but they have their
for
purposes.
everything.
And that's one of the things that we really want people to understand too. And if you come by the booth and you talk to me in Tab and you tell us like, oh, hey,
This is what I'm doing.
we're opening up a brand new haunted house. Let me buy 10 masks. I'm usually the first one to be like, whoa, hold on a second.
What are
Let's
you doing?
talk
What
about
you wanna
this
do
before
with
you
the- yeah.
before you do it. And again, we're in the game of long term, right?
Right.
So we want to be selling you masks for the next 10, 15 years. Currently we're the oldest silicone mask company around. SPFX, when they were around, technically, I think they started before us.
They
But,
went to market
yeah.
about a year and a half before we did.
Unfortunately, they're no longer around as a company. So we are the oldest silicone mask
running
company
silicone
out
mask
there.
company, yeah.
And we plan to be here for, again, another 10, 15, 20 years at least,
Yes, and some. It's so funny because
until digital takes over.
Right.
I love
don't know
that-
how I feel about that, but go ahead.
I
Gerard.
love that you said that, because first off, you ain't doing the used car salesman. Like, yeah, you're a single mama. Let's get you this big $2,500 dolly because your credit can approve it. You're over here like, let's be realistic. So that's when you know
Throw
they're
your heads into this bad boy. It's like, yes, what?
Well, look, I thought. Well, I want to say this, and I'm glad that you mentioned about putting your mask in, not putting your mask in a dark hall or room. I think the industry learned that quickly. It was like, okay, if we're going to purchase these masks, why put it in this hallway that's completely dark and no lights? Let's put it in front. The masks sell themselves. They sell the realistic, the helping the guest feel like this is real, really honing into their imagination. And so and let me tell you, I remember the other company, but like you guys had some amazing designs and creatures coming out. The imp character, first of all, when he came out, I fell in love with him immediately, and my team fell in love with him, and we really trying to figure out what could we use him for. But like this guy, oh yeah, well, with our attraction, we're trying to figure out like what story could we bring him in. But like everything about him, from the nose to the eyes to the eyebrows, there's no appliances. This is no prosthetics. This is all silicone. So could you tell us and walk us through how a mask is made, a silicone mask is made, a little, just briefly, and the benefits with that.
So I'll kind of take this one again. Tabby's a part of it, but this is directly where I kind of handle.
Like Josh being the mask operations manager, he obviously deals very hands-on with the mask, curation and creation. So whether it's, new paint schemes or new mask designs, so he's very.
So in the old days, and so things are evolving. I'll tell you that right now too. So in the old days, it would start with, hey, someone has an idea. We have a core that we work off of. So like every mask is sculpted on a very specific core. And that's how we get the mask to fit in certain areas. And so that way, when you move your eyebrows, it moves and emotes and everything like that. So we start with a proprietary core. Every company has their own proprietary core. And that's what makes every mask fit a little bit differently. Then what would happen again in the old days is an artist would go and take clay, they'd slap it onto the core, and they would start doing it. It would take maybe a week or two. Depending on the artist, some artists could do it faster, some artists would take longer, and they would by hand manipulate and create a mask in clay. We would then mold that. There's some proprietary processes in the molding area. It's not as proprietary anymore. There's a lot of knowledge out there, but then once we have a mold, we'd be able to create the mask and paint them and create them any color and with the modifications you guys like.
Oh, awesome.
Well, now, currently, you notice I had said in the old days. We are starting to move into the digital realm, and so what I have right here is a copy of a new mask that we'll be having coming out real soon.
What? We got the exclusive here on Yep, That's Scary.
Oh yeah!
Wow, let's go.
And so now we are working much more in the digital realm. I can't tell everything. We're not ready for a full release on it. Yep, That's Scary does not get the full premiere, but that will be a new mask that's coming out very soon.
See, that just makes everything more difficult.
Digital realm, and we create digital renderings of it.
Okay.
And that's as far as I can tell us for the process now, but there are multiple other steps, and now we get masks.
See, that makes it more difficult on me because I've been looking at CFX for a long time, trying to find my mask because I want to get my own mask. I don't even have a haunt necessary where I'll be working it, but I want one of y'all's masks, but I want to build a costume. And that's my most difficult issue, is trying to come up with a costume to go with this mask. Because I don't want to sit there, let's buy this nice mask. All right, now we're going to go to Walmart. Right. And
it's not so difficult. We have a lot of really wonderful friends in the haunt industry who make fantastic costumes. Our friends over at Midnight Mayhem Apparel.
We have informal partnerships with these people. We do a lot of trade back and forth where, if we need a costume made for a specific mask, we can work back and forth with them. And these are people that we as CFX have no problem vouching for.
Yeah, so Brian and Michelle over at Midnight Mayhem Apparel. I know Bradley does a lot of work with them as well. Yep. They're fantastic. They started with clown costumes. But they do so much more than that now. I think they are booked for this season, but they are fantastic. If you need any kind of costumes, feel free to reach out to them. I know that Tony Macchia at Death Store Creations does a lot of really great stuff. Tessie at Dark Stitches. I know Adam Lane at ATX Dark Creations.
Courtney McIntyre at Studio 1031.
Correct. There's quite a few fantastic costume makers who are out there who work with us in the silicone mask industry to accompany our masks. So we understand that it's really complicated and sometimes challenging to buy this amazing mask. We're like, cool, what am I going to wear with it? So there are fantastic costume makers out there who we love to work with, who work really well with a lot of our costumes. Brian at Midnight Mayhem, they were across from us the past 2 years at Trans World, so we put a lot of our masks on their costumes. And so we love using him. Same thing with a lot of the other makers out there. They accompany our masks, and they usually make a lot of costumes for masks. So if there's something that you want made, you can always reach out to them and be like, hey, I have this mask, I need this stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think every single maker that we have out there other than maybe Dark Stitches, are all pretty hardcore silicone mask fans as well. That buy as many masks from us on the personal level as as we do business work and stuff like that. So.
I mean, I love their stuff so much. And it's just I kind of want multiple, but at the same time, like
that's a terrible. It can get addicting. It can get addicting. You'll be purchasing masks for. I mean, I was just talking to Bradley Bass, and he showed me his mask collection, and it's like, what are you doing with all these masks? And he just have them up in his room, and it's so crazy. You can spend a lot of money doing that.
So for us, it started as being haunters, right? So I bought that York mask, the first one that I showed you. The Haunted Hotel actually bought that for me as an end of the year bonus for my work, right? And so I didn't pay for the first one. They hated buying that for me. Let me tell you, they were like, I can't believe you're making me buy you a $450 mask right now, but if that's what you want, that's what you'll get.
Yeah.
And so I did. And then after that, I ended up buying a couple of them on the personal level. And then when we opened up our haunt, that was like the floodgates for me to be like, oh, tax write-off. Yes, I can buy as many masks as I want right now. And I'll be honest, that first year I went on a little bit of a spending spree. And
a dozen.
I think we bought a dozen the first year with gloves and everything. And then we've consistently bought them. And now that we work for the company, I'll be honest with you.
Buy them.
Yeah, I don't buy them as much because when I want one, I have the ability because we also run the trade shows that we can pull it into the trade show realm. And when it goes into the trade show realm, it kind of becomes a demo mask. And so if I need to take it somewhere to demo.
That's awesome.
The demo is
called a $5 discount.
Didn't just do that.
It's all satire and parody.
Comic-Con or anything.
I love it.
Yeah, but speaking of that, we're going to be releasing a bunch of new masks very soon.
Okay, so I'm excited to hear that, and I'm going to leave that to the because I kind of have it in 3 stages. We're talking about the beginning. Now we're going to talk about the journey, how it's been working with at CFX, and also how the silicone business has grown and has changed our industry. Can you guys talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's especially coming into working at CFX. We started full time with them in 2019. We literally hit the ground running. We moved out here in the very middle/end of February. We were out here for about 2.5 weeks full time, and then we went to Transworld. So we, like I said, we literally hit the ground running when we moved out here. And then 2020 happened, and we all know what happened in 2020, right?
Yes.
The pandemic. So it was really interesting and a challenge, which I think we annihilated in 2020 and 2021 when the world stopped and a lot of trade shows and conventions weren't happening because we totally switched to virtual trade shows. And we were still able to maintain not just relevancy, but, positivity and, encouragement and excitability during a really weird and really questionable time.
So 2020 happened, and we were still in the transition of we had just moved across the country from California to Louisiana. Our haunt stuff was all still in California. We still had stuff in California, and we're in transition.
We moved about half of it in February of 2020.
And it was kind of okay, we'll get this going. We'll go to Transworld.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of finish getting the rest of our life together and plan for stuff. And then literally a week before Transworld, we had the trailer. I was packing up the trailer, getting everything ready for Transworld, and that's when Transworld announced, hey, we're not gonna.
Yeah, literally, the world shut down, and we were in pending for about a week, and then Transworld made the announcement, and we're okay, switch gears.
But we knew, we had just, Tabby and I had just kind of started with the company, and we were we were picking up steam. We had made some traction, and we were picking up some steam as a company, and we didn't want to lose any of that. And so we kind of came up with this idea, and it was a company-wide idea of doing Fans World.
Yeah.
Since we couldn't do Transworld, we wanted to reach out to the fans of CFX and be hey, we're going to do a show for you guys.
Bring the trade show to you guys.
Yeah, we'll bring that trade show to you guys. And it's only one booth. And I think we did 3 episodes a day.
Yes,
do
I
it
remember
all week?
that. Yes.
We did it all week. We did.
I think
We
we
did
did
it
it all
like at.
week.
We did it like 10, noon, and 2
And-
all week.
And let me tell you
Different
guys,
shit throughout the day.
it looked way better than what it was. It was a disaster behind the scenes. We were in the back of the shop, and because we didn't know, so like our shop is busy. It's not. We have a big shop, but it's busy. Like there's no just empty areas of the shop where it's like,
So
oh,
we're in
hey,
the
there's
shipping
nothing
and
going on.
receiving area of the shop, which also isn't air conditioned.
Yeah, there's no air conditioning.
So
in
we
shipping
had a
and
lot
Oh
of,
receiving.
Lord.
and just
Oh,
because
no.
it's March doesn't mean it's cool in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and so
No.
we had this back little like 20 by 20 corner of shipping and receiving that we're like, all right, well, what hang black drape, we'll build the booth. We'll just
You
build
piped
it.
in audio that
stage it.
sounds like
Yeah.
a trade show.
We went so far that we had audio playing in the background that we had taken from like different things and piped in to make it sound like we were at Transworld, even to the point where the horn, that stupid horn that goes off, it went off every hour just like it was supposed to. I don't know if you were paying
love it.
attention, but yeah, on the hour, that horn would go off during our show.
It's so funny because I thought that was the smartest thing you guys did. I felt like, you know, look, if the country's going to close down, we can't do a trade show. Let's bring the trade show to the fans. And you guys pivot. You guys did a cool pivot, and you guys kind of like made like CFX hot. Like it was like a hot commodity. I would like I'll be on Facebook, and then like we'll get the notification, like everyone would just like flock over, and then you'd be in the chat rooms, and I'm like, "What's up, guys?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, you know, what's up, Josh?" And like the conversations, and then the product, and seeing it, and even if people had a concern about a product, you guys would address it right there and say, "Bring it in." It was so welcoming and so cool. Like you guys made that really cool. Like that was
Thank
awesome.
you. Like,
No, I love that.
I don't know where she just ran off to right now. She'll be back, I'm sure. But a lot of that was Tabby.
I was
Like,
trying to catch a Moki.
yeah, Tabby.
So cool.
Sorry, I'm trying to catch her
We
hairless
threw
cat.
it kind of at Tabby. So I'm an AV guy at heart, right? So like when we build the haunt, yeah, I'm the lighting guy. Like I know how to do all that stuff. But she was the one that kind of took it and created the format that it was, and just owned it and kind of became that personality.
Well, I realized like we had to create some kind of schedule, and then we had to create something that was going to be, you know, interesting when we were on. So yeah, it's literally I had to become like the face of CFX and be like, here we are, here's some stuff, here's some new stuff. What do you want to see? Let's get engaging, you know. And I'm a theater kid by nature, so I do have that in me. But I'm an introvert / extrovert, so my battery is only so long, you know, and I can only
hear that.
You know, and so being able to do that and then being able to go like, you know, like off screen was really nice after a little while. But I realized that it definitely meant that there was an audience or an interest in something like that. So that's why we started doing CFX Live after that. And that's something that we do want to bring back.
Bring it back.
For about a year. It's
how
in a
busy
flux.
we've been. Like literally, we've been so busy. I haven't even had time to sit there and go look at the room and be like, oh, let me put this back together.
Right.
Let's create a format to sit and film.
So everything's been in a little bit of a flux when it comes to CFX Live, but we do want to bring that back. It's something, hopefully we'll bring that back maybe after Halloween season and a little bit of that lull between Halloween into, you know, Transworld and the next trade show season.
Okay.
I love it.
Maybe like just talking about older masks and highlighting, you know, some of the fun characteristics of masks that we have, you know, different variations, new masks, and maybe not doing like a huge trade show style, but definitely like highlighting certain things here and there. So we're still trying to sort out the format and making sure that, you know, we have time to do it because we want to do it, but we want to make sure that we have time to produce a good show for everybody.
And that's the difficult thing. Yeah, because her and I, we handle all the trade shows. So right now during our busy season, we're not going to be in the shop as much. So it's not like we're literally on the road driving or at a booth talking to somebody. So
yeah, so I know Sean Mills had asked down there earlier if we're going to be at Texas Haunters. Correct. CFX will be at Texas Haunters. Josh will not be. Sean, I apologize. We will literally en route to San Diego.
We'll be driving by.
The same crew who were there last year, Ken and Keith. Ken is the owner of CFX, and Keith, who was probably our longest running employee at CFX.
Wow.
will be there, as well as 2 new members who y'all haven't met yet, Chloe and Michelle. So that's going to be their first time out at a trade show, working. Michelle was out there at Transworld, but it's their first year working. So be nice. Send them lots of love and maybe lots of drinks, but make sure they can still make it back to the booth the next day.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Kenny is bringing special candy. I don't know if you guys know it, but Texas Haunters Convention.
Not special candy, but
well, we're from California, so that's
you
why
have to make sure
her brain automatically goes to the wrong place.
You can't say special candy.
Why? Why is the good candy? Okay. Okay, there you go. Good candy.
Special candy, people think medicated.
See, do you see where her brain goes?
I'm with it too. I'm with it too. I thought that too. I was like, what y'all doing?
Hey, you heard it here first. That's special candies at CFX.
Special candy at CFX.
Well, I mean,
so Kenny will be there. Go see Kenny for the good candy.
Good. So being on the road, you guys have bridged that gap with your fans and the product itself. Have you guys seen a major shift from buyers being like from the haunters and now being these young, aspiring scare actors or just fans wanting to dress up and maybe cosplay? Did you guys see that like shift, and how was that for you, for the business?
So the short answer is yes, and especially when it comes to San Diego Comic-Con. Like I said earlier, that's a convention that I've been going to since I was a kid with my dad. That's it. And the change in market and attendance to that show. When CFX started going there, it's because we had and we still have the Game of Thrones license. So we have the license to the White Walker and the Night King and 2 different White Walkers, which I think Josh should pull out. So because of that, we have a really fantastic space there, and we were able to introduce our product to the cosplay market, a market that people may not have understood that our product even exists for. And so in my opinion, we revolutionized the cosplay market when it comes to San Diego Comic-Con. So going to Comic-Con definitely expanded our customer base outside of just haunted attraction owners, operators, actors, enthusiasts, and all that jazz. It really made it more appealing for people who were just interested in cosplay to be like, oh my gosh, I don't have to spend so much time and money in the makeup to be the character that I want to be. And because our catalog is so large, we're able to customize a lot of those characters into something a little bit more unique. So besides the licensed stuff like we have with the Night King, we can do a lot of customized characters with characters we already have in our catalog, just modifying things here and there. So it definitely opened up.
We have a Kardashian from Star Trek coming through the shop right now.
I was going to talk about it, but I won't talk about it.
I stole it. Stole that one from her. And that's
yes.
just using basically one of our humans with some modifications to it.
Yeah, so it's with our hair artist right now. It's getting hair. I'm really excited to see it when it comes back from getting hair.
That's crazy.
The amazing things that we can do with a lot of our stuff. So, Flora, darling, we are so excited for some of your stuff that's coming through right now. I took pictures of it.
Yeah,
it should be getting sent out to you.
Look, I'm getting excited. I don't even know what y'all talking about, but I'm getting excited.
It doesn't matter because when Flora posts
I'm sure
it,
we'll let her post, and we're not even going to talk about it. We'll let her take all the excitement for that one because I think she's going to like them.
Can I say this? CFX has been my secret weapon during Halloween for a very long time. And what I would do is, if there is a Halloween costume contest, I would take my CFX costume and I would enter it, especially the ones that have money as at the end of it, because CFX was only known in the haunt game. It wasn't out till you guys brought it out to the market, to the fans, especially at Comic-Con. I mean, you don't see much of anyone walking down the street with a silicone mask. So when I had that mask and I went to the costume contest, I would win money because they thought it was makeup, and I'm like, no. And they're like, how long did it take you? And literally, I just put this over my head, and it's silicone, and it just sucks to
black out the eyes.
Yeah, and black out the eyes, and I'm done. And they were just so, So I thank you, CFX, because you guys made me. I make money off you guys. Between these
before I worked for the company, I used to do the same thing. I had a flesh colored imp that matched my skin tone perfectly. So I didn't no makeup or anything. Even if it was a little bit off, it didn't make any difference. And yeah, no, I would win first place all the time.
I have a girlfriend of mine whose birthday is in March, so it's adjacent to halfway to Halloween. And so we would go to a halfway to Halloween costume party / birthday party for her at a bar. And needless to say, we were dressed up all the time. And yeah, he wore the Imp one year, he wore Yorick one year. Yeah. And so it's, if you ever worry about trying to finance your mask, buy a mask, go on a costume contest, you're good, you'll even out easily, and then sometimes you'll win more money. And then you can buy a second mask.
Assess your market. Don't enter a costume contest in Baton Rouge. You're going against
yes. You better preach. Yes, don't do it.
Yeah, but,
New Orleans, just saying.
But anywhere else.
They'd be like, sir, this costume contest is suggested for 12 and under. I don't care. Let me in.
So now you see other add-ons being created with these masks. First, there were the masks, right? And they would they have the apron that would hit to the mid chest. Then you kind of start seeing some hands. And when the hands came out, was it hands first or was it body? Some body pieces. I can't remember. I think it was hands.
So it was masks and then some gloves or hands to accompany it. And then we started doing the torso, but we
go to shop our products.
Yeah, go all the way. There you go. Yeah. We only started doing the torso piece when they got the Game of Thrones license.
There should be gloves.
Yeah. So we have the torso piece only for our Game of Thrones, our White Walkers. So we specialize in all silicone, but mainly masks and gloves. And silges on our body parts. You can't forget our body parts. So our guts are very popular.
So yeah, so I mean, obviously, when the mask came out, it was a no-brainer you needed gloves.
Right.
The torsos, we've done some torsos before. We have a licensed torso for the White Walker. Like Tabby was saying, we've done some custom torso pieces. There's some other companies out there that do some really cool torso pieces. For us, we try to make as comfortable of a product as possible that you can wear in your haunted house for an actual
extended
period of time. And so we just found that the torsos were a little bit too much weight-wise. Again, we do custom ones for film work all the time. So if you had ever wanted one, you can reach out to us and get a torso. But it's not something that we feel that would sell well enough on our catalog that we would want to invest any time into that.
Yeah, it's great for, photo shoots or quick meet and greets or, morning news shoots and stuff like that. And even the gloves too, the gloves are great for a lot of the characters that interact with people on a regular basis. But same thing with a lot of the other things. We don't encourage gloves for everything. If you have a character actor who's going to be grabbing things, props, sticks, banging their hands against things, we don't necessarily encourage the gloves in that regard because, you can use regular work gloves.
Painted leather gloves will look really good on a lot of stuff, especially if you have an actor that's in a scene that maybe has prime example, Haunted Trail of Balboa Park. There was an actor had a chain link fence and he would drag his hand across the chain link fence and not a big deal, right? It's just a chain link fence. Well, it was just abrasive enough that it was putting little micro tears into it to the point where at one point when he opened his hand, the whole glove would just open up. So that's one of the things, like when you come to the booth, unfortunately I don't get to talk to everybody, but if you come to one of our trade show booths and I'm at the booth and you ask me about gloves, that's one of the first things that I'll ask is like, how are you using this? Yeah. Is this going to be for a premier character that's going to be doing queue line work, that's going to be kind of controlled and stuff like that? Are you cosplaying, inside a convention center where it's kind of a very controlled environment? Yeah, gloves are awesome and go for it. If you're going to put these guys, on a guy that's in the heart of the haunted house and he has to climb a rope and do all kinds of other stuff, no.
I don't recommend it. Yeah.
Buy a second mask. Yeah, I still want to say something, but I don't want you wasting your money on something that probably isn't going to work for your purposes.
It's so funny because when I had my silicone mask the first time and I went out to scare, it was amazing. First of all, you have this thing kind of sucked onto your face. You could still see, you could still move around, you could talk a little bit, but then during that break, you feel like there's just all this like moisture and whatnot, and you take off the mask, and then here comes the water just drenched. And that's one of the war stories every scare actor could talk about, being in these masks, these silicone masks, because you sweat so much that it just sits there.
That's the
And
forbidden shot.
and then when you talk, it may spit out. I mean, it's crazy. The silicone, the things that silicone would do with scare actors, and I've noticed that when I'm in the mask, I don't want to take it off, because when you take it off for a break and you put it back on, you got that cold, wet sweat now,
Yep.
and so
Great to see.
now what I do you guys do this? Do you guys keep your mask on all day or all night, or do you take them off for your breaks?
Personally, yeah, I'll leave my mask on for 6 hours. Once
Right.
it kind of goes on, it's kind of like, okay, it's on.
Right.
You know,
and
like
then you can still drink if you have water. You just get a straw. You can still drink. And
I mean,
wouldn't
there
eat
are
in it,
some
but-
masks that are obviously built up more than others that, maybe like, all right, hey, I'm going to only wear this for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and then I'll pull it off for a little bit. It is our number one challenge.
You get
with silicone
gross.
masks.
We're not gonna
Yeah.
lie, especially if you're running around in a haunt or near a humid environment. Hello, Baton Rouge. You're gonna get warm, especially if you're running around a haunt, or if you're in a convention hall and you're not moving around a whole lot. You may not build up as much sweat, but I get gross. I sweat a lot. I get
I love
really
it.
gross masks, but that's the beauty of the silicone mask, is that you have the ability to take it off. You can wipe it out if you need to, and then you can put that bad boy back on and keep going. But like Josh said, like sometimes Josh and I will be into the mask 6 to 8 hours at a time. The masks will.
Sean got a plan.
Correct. But yeah, like sometimes just being in the mask, as soon as you break that seal, it's just like, I don't want to put that shit back on.
Right.
Whether you really want to or not. So sometimes just being in the mask and just staying in the mask is fine. And with the silicone, it is stretchy enough that you can take a little like napkin and go like on the inside, especially for mouth, is you're having some issues with your mouth. Jared's laughing because he knows what I'm talking about. Especially with the beard, I know contact is an issue.
Yeah.
Everybody over here.
You gotta drink the sweat. Just
right here.
Nasty.
There are some masks where, if you build up sweat, you can move a certain way and it just accentuates the disgustingness of the mask. So you can use it.
You can use that. You can use that for your character. Yes.
You can use it for your character. You use your suffering. That's the true form of an actor right there.
Don't drink the night before wearing your mask.
Oh,
because you just sweat so much more in it. And I know that's something I'm telling a bunch of haunters, but that's the number one thing that makes it bad. Stay hydrated throughout the night.
Water. Stay hydrated with water.
Water, yeah. Water.
That's actually an important tip from the imp that's coming out next week because summer's coming, conventions are coming. We all want to wear really epic costumes and cosplays with our masks. Stay hydrated with water as much as possible. Alcohol is not going to do anything for you. You're not going to feel better later. Trust me. Balance that with some water, okay? And take breaks as often as you need to. That's the two biggest points.
But that is what that we're also working on as a company right now, is we're trying to figure out what we can do to make the mask more comfortable. In general, heat-wise.
I want to say this. It's a real comfortable mask. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's comfortable, especially when you're not sweating. You're comfortable in it the first time, and then I say that the sweat comes with the territory, but it's fun. I mean, you can have so much fun with it in so many ways, But as you were saying, eat what?
What was it?
Josh, you said something about eating.
Yeah. So right now we're currently working on some mask designs that will help make the mask a little bit more comfortable to wear.
Oh, really?
Especially on the haunt side of things. That's our number one complaint that we get from all the haunt owners is like, hey, the actors don't want to wear them; they're too hot. And so we're working on some stuff right now. Obviously, not ready to release anything, but stay tuned.
I mean, and a lot of people may or may not know that we do have the ability currently to do face-only masks and head-only or bibless masks for about 75% of our collection.
Yeah, so kind of where they're cut right here or where it straps.
With the face-only and stuff like that. I don't think we have any of them on our website currently, We're
Okay.
currently in the middle of
No, they have
revamping
face
that.
only.
Well, it says face only, but let's see what pulls up right there.
It's 0.
Yeah, so it says 0. So it's a category. It's not. See,
Coming
it
soon, guys. It's
but
coming
nothing's
soon.
there yet. So we had some in the past.
I have
revamped a few things. We have some prototypes.
I have
of
a
new
prototype
things.
mask going out to the Rise Haunted Attraction, which is another local haunted house here in Louisiana. An amazing haunted house if you guys have never seen them. But yeah, so they have a hayride, and so we're working some masks for them for some of their hayride characters, and we're doing some custom work.
Talk about the grossness of mask. I might be in the minority, but I know once the mask is on, that's where it's uncomfortable. Once you sweat just a little bit, it forms for me, at least. So I don't mind sweat. I kind of enjoy it. Not like enjoy it, but it's relieving because it feels like it gets everything going right. Your eyes fit right, because that's the irritation. That's the worst thing about your mask to wear. And I'm gonna be honest, it's trying to get the eyes right. But once you get that little sweat going, it kind of sucks right in there. I'll forget about it. It's perfect. I'm gonna leave that thing on. And yes, I do have a sponge underneath. I have to make sure tuck that thing under there.
For me, when I wear the mask and I have my hair grease in there and I sweat, it drips into my eye and it burns. Like one time I was screaming ah, and I turned and I ran right into a tree, and the guests just laughed because they're like, monsters in pain, ha ha ha, and I'm like, no, for real, there's grease in my eye.
You're not real.
I have very sensitive eyes, and so when that happened, it wasn't too fun. But anyways,
and remember, kids, you go like this, you pull it up like that.
Yeah, so when these products first came out, there was a lot of education. You had to educate about silicone. You had to educate about putting it on, taking it off, also upkeep with it. And then you had little corners that would tear a little bit because people would talk. And do you feel as though that you have to still continue that education with some customers, or
so that it's an interesting thing there? Tabby and I, we do a lot of trade shows, and they're not all connected to the horror industry. So anything with the horror haunt side of things, a lot of people have been exposed to the mask
They
at this
understand
point. So there's far less of that can I try that on? In the old days, everyone wanted to try the masks on all the time. Now it's kind of okay, I know how they feel. I don't know who else has tried that mask on. We hear it all.
Right.
But when we do Comic-Con, it's amazing how many people still don't know what a silicone mask is. So yeah, there's a lot of education that's still being done with that. And I think there's a lot of bad information. Well, I won't even say bad information out there, but just information that's slightly off. That a lot of new haunt owners and new people, actors that maybe have never had to buy a mask on their own, that have just inherited a mask from a haunt and stuff. And, owner tells them all these kind of stories that just to protect the mask. And they think that that's actually real about it. I've heard things like, oh, you can't put a silicone mask on a foam head. Well, all of our headphones that we make from CFX are foam, so it's totally fine. Again, just run the gamut of things about it. So yeah, we still do a little bit of education. It's usually at shows at IAPA or San Diego Comic-Con. The Fear Expo show. I like the Fear Expo show because there are a lot of newer, unexposed haunters at that show, and I do a class there, and every time people are like, "Wow, I didn't know that," and so I like being able to educate people like that.
Yeah, because it is an investment, and we want them to take care of their stuff. And I want to talk about this before I move on to the future of CFX. So you guys kind of got into a little roadblock, and that was with some faulty products being made and sold overseas.
Oh yeah,
tell us about that. Because this is a real problem that's going to be happening.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
So I'll be honest with you. I think that CFX was probably one of the first
ones
industry companies to kind of really be hit by the Facebook scam.
Yep.
Thing that goes on, right? And so basically what happens is there's Chinese companies, foreign companies. Some of them are Chinese, some of them are from but foreign companies are creating false companies and false pages they're stealing actual customer videos and pictures off our websites, off of YouTube, incorporating that into their ad. And then what they do, well, in the early days, they wouldn't send you anything. They were just literally phishing your information. And so you'd send them, your credit card information for $19.95. They'd show you a picture of a Belial demon mask. I don't know if you had that on the website or whatever, but like another one of our iconic masks. And you'd see a picture of it. You'd see the try-on video, and it's our mask, so of course it looks great. But what the company would send you was a cheap latex knockoff if you got anything.
And I'm trying to find it right now because I remember when it first. Is this it?
I have a TikTok video that I put on our TikTok page where it's like a splice from, gosh, I can't remember the name of the movie now, where he's basically like, if I see another one of these again, I swear to God. But it was,
Go up to search and just type in BEL.
IAL.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There,
Belial, the demon right there.
There it is. Here. So he was very popular because some foreign company took this one and said, and pretty much was like, "You're going to get this. This is the product that you're going to get."
Yeah. So they do pictures of that, and then they'd send you this horrible. And when I say latex, we'd gotten a couple. Obviously, we had to see what it was, so we ordered one, and it's hard to determine what the material was. It was a latex-like material. It obviously didn't stretch. It didn't do any of the stuff.
It was so disrespectful. It was so disrespectful. Let's be honest. Like when I first saw it, I was like, "What the?" And I'm looking at this flimsy latex, whatever, and they tried so hard. Like they purchased your mask.
Yeah,
it was over there, and they tried to redo it. Yep. And I noticed that they're that's what they're going to do. They're going to go and purchase these products and try to recreate it for a lesser price, and then sell you for that higher price, so that they could give you a low quality product. And it's such a scam. And when people spend their money, they spend their hard earned money on like a CFX mask, and then you get something that is just a bootleg. Now, when I heard about bootleg, I heard it was sneakers, it was purses. I never knew it was going to be a mask. But CFX, y'all did something really good.
And so for us, it started almost 3 years ago for us. So we've been dealing this for a long time. We're kind of pro at it at this point. But yeah, so it started by like a customer calling and kind of complaining, going like, "Hey, I bought a mask from you guys, like total false advertising, like what I got." And so we're like, "All right, well, what's your invoice number?" And so like we tried to like look up his invoice number, and it was something that didn't match at all. And so like after some investigation, we found out like, "Oh, hey, you bought it from a scam ad company." And so we started searching Facebook and all this stuff and realizing, oh crap, there's a bunch of them. So it kind of started with us. Immortal Mask got knocked off for a long time there. Evolution Mask was getting knocked off. Currently, they're doing distortions.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of prop makers now. So a lot of other, large prop makers, people who are making like large wing animatronics, people who are making larger animatronic moving mouth masks. So that definitely seems to be the scam market now. I definitely think we've got a little bit of a curve.
We fought back pretty hard. Tabby spent a year of her life fighting those scam ads. And it was because we were concerned with our client base. We didn't want the client base thinking that CFX was scamming people in any kind of way. But at some point we learned that it was like, okay, we can't. There's only so much we can do to fight this. And then we were getting more and more customers reaching out to us, going like, "Hey,
we see this.
I bought this. I got scammed, but it led me to you, and now I want to buy the real one."
Wow!
And so now it's actually led to sales for us. And so over the last year or two, we feel like we've done our part in educating the public of like, hey, if you see something that's for like a ridiculously low price on Facebook.
If you see a silicone mask for $29.99 or $49.99, please question it, or you're going to have a bad time.
Right, because
if they label it as a silicone mask, just question it.
Yeah, just
And
have a couple questions.
I think we've had a lot of education within the community now that a lot of people do see that and are skeptical. And so I do appreciate that on one hand, but it makes it a little bit hard to market on social media because of that.
Yeah, it's I totally get it, and like it's so funny. Like Gerard, when he had his little his haunted attraction, his mother purchased some things from China, and they were they were like knockoff of what I saw at Tresworld. I'm like, wait, what is?
Yeah,
We don't do this. We don't do this. I'm like, get this out of here. But yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
the education is the most challenging part.
There's one guy that bought a bunch of our masks in China, and he used to try to market them like on the all the pages and stuff like that. And he was kind of called out and banned from most of the pages. And we had a feeling that like that's where it's all kind of stemming from, is that same guy that has basic recasts of our masks and stuff like that. But
It's
because they're
definitely-
foreign, we can't do anything about
Yeah, and it's definitely slowed down in the last year. So hopefully we've put a kibosh mostly on all that. It was really weirdly timed with the pandemic. So it was like, cool, no one's buying anything right now anyway, let alone the fact that we have a lot of these scam ads that are going out. So
Right.
But I think we put a kibosh on that for the most part. We haven't seen a whole lot going on in the silicone mask or mask making community, period.
So let's talk about the future of CFX. We look, we know that we've been waiting for some designs. And I know a lot of people, they'd be like, what's going on with CFX design? We want to see more. Tell us what's in the pipeline for new masks that are coming out. When are we expected to see some masks? When are we going to start seeing some more videos of you guys putting on your mask and all that stuff? Because that excites me as a buyer. You know what I mean?
So here, I'll break it down how we've kind of been looking at it. We slowed down on doing the live stream, CFX Live and stuff like that, because we didn't have anything really exciting to show you guys, even though we've been working on a bunch of stuff behind the scenes. Know that sometimes if we're not releasing mass stuff, it doesn't mean we're not working. We're doing a bunch of other stuff. And we had a bunch of film projects in the shop, and we had a couple of NDA medical projects that we've wrapped up, and now we've been able to go. A big challenge that CFX has always had is our location here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay.
We're not in the heart of, we're not in Atlanta, we're not in LA,
we're not
in Hollywood, So it's hard for us sometimes to get skilled sculptors and artists to come to the shop. We did some guest sculpting over the last couple of the years, having some people come out. And it allowed us to produce a couple of masks, but it just wasn't along the timeline, and we didn't have the control of the masks that we would like to have, to just get where we wanted to be. But we have a new sculptor that's been in the shop. He's been in the shop for a while, but
About a year now,
we haven't been talking about him because we've been trying to get him up to speed and make sure that we are ready. But I will tell you right now that I have four brand new masks with 3 variants each sitting in the shop that no one has seen. Obviously, you just saw a preview of a 5th that hasn't been produced yet, but it is
gotten to mold making yet, but it's hanging out waiting.
It needs a little bit more work, and then it'll go to mold making, and that one's almost ready to go. And then I have a 6th one. And so once I have that 6th one, I think I might start showing you guys some stuff.
So you'll be seeing some stuff.
Now,
go ahead, Gerard.
Here's what I'm missing. You're in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Are we going to see an alligator type mask?
We got one.
We did just release one.
Bayou
Brutus. And he is a newer mask. I don't know if he got a whole lot of hype because he was just kind of an interim.
Was that before Transworld?
Yeah, he was.
He's not an elongated snout one, but
okay.
Yeah, but no, Bayou Brutus. He
is a little Godzilla-esque, but
he's almost Goomba-ish. But I love him.
He's Godzilla-ish.
Well, yeah. Look at Bayou Brutus.
I'm pulling him up right now.
You gotta, because I know Will. I've been talking to Willie for a while. I want me a crocodile or an alligator-ish mask for a minute.
So we have Bayou Brutus. We have a crocodile variant. We have a gator variant. We have him in an albino variant. We have some fun variant, other obnoxious-ish colors on him. You guys gonna give a second to load. I apologize.
No, I'm kind of slow on this. Normally we have a production manager, so bear with me. Oh, there he is. Okay, so yeah,
Oh,
I've seen this one.
Like I
Yeah.
actually just posted about him yesterday because yesterday was National Croc Day. So
Was
I
it?
posted about him yesterday. Yes, it was. Isn't that crazy how I have to know stuff like that?
All right. I love it. Look at the teeth work. Oh my gosh.
Didn't I take some good photos there?
Yes. Yeah, that's one
we
thing I love. That's
we
what I'm
need
sorry, Gerard.
I need a
Go ahead.
video of him like being on a mask, like seeing him open his jaw.
I know. I need to get Josh into some movement videos.
Yeah, so we've been a little bit slow on movement videos. A lot of times I do the movement videos, but
And he doesn't want to shave his beard.
yeah, it just looks better when I shave my beard.
See, now you're making this more difficult because I literally while on the show I was kind of flipping through the costume. I think I found my mask, and it's the Torque silicone mask. He's the guy. He has a little bit of elongated jaw. It looks like I thought I found it, but now I have to buy you.
Torque is amazing. Bio Brutus is fantastic. We do have a new design that's coming out that if you like Torque, I think you're gonna like.
He is
too.
a partner to Torque.
Is it
So
Torque?
wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to discourage anyone watching this from buying. If you know a mask that you want, go ahead and buy it because we are starting to get really busy.
Okay.
But
We do have a decent amount
Yeah.
of stock right now.
Know
Some of
that-
that stock's going to get reduced because we are about to go out to some trade shows. So just be aware of it. The order window is still really good right now in terms of the Halloween season. So if you need something, get it now.
Have you looked into making something with an elongated mouth?
We have.
Yeah, we have. So, it's one of those things. All right. So I'll be honest with you. We've looked at a lot of different things like that. In the past, CFX really took on the mentality of we want to build a mask that is very form fitting and doesn't
comfortable.
Yeah, as comfortable as possible. Silicone is a heavy, hot material. So we've shied away from doing big, elaborate designs.
Too far out that way.
We think that maybe that was a mistake on our part that people do. I mean, I'll give it to Immortal Mask. They are killing it with their designs right now. And they have a lot of big designs that maybe don't, in some of our eyes, wouldn't necessarily be like, oh yeah, I see that as a silicone mask. But they figured out a way to do it. So we will be getting a little bit more elaborate with our designs. Again, working this out, here's some exclusives right now on Yep It's Scary. We have a brand new core that fits better than any core that we've ever had in the past, including people with slightly larger heads. Our lip cupping, we improved lip cupping on all of our new masks, so they all move and fit your lips better. And we're going back and retrofitting all of our old designs with the new lip cupping. So all of our masks will have new and improved lip cupping. Can't give you a time frame on how long that'll take to get all that done, but we are working on it right now. And all the new designs.
So can you like if you order a mask, can you if there's no time crunch, can I like order and like, hey, can you make this with the new form? And can you if there's no time, can that make an order?
So here's a weird thing. Any of the cores are relevant to whatever sculpt it was originally done on. So I can't do like an old imp on a new core.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense completely.
I might be able to pull it off. I've never done that, but I would imagine that you would run into areas of thin spots on the mask and stuff like that where maybe the mask isn't so integrally sound. But with our new stuff, we are planning. I'm just telling them.
Just go ahead.
We're going to do a resculpt on Belial. Belial is going to get a brand new resculpt. And the imp will probably get a new resculpt as well.
The imp? Oh, let's go!
Yeah, onto the new core. We like the new core so much that we need to have our best-selling, our top masks on that new core.
I mean, you got to redo the imp. If you got the new form, you got to redo the imp. Like that. When you think CFX, you think the imp.
So we're gonna redo the imp, but I also have a new imp variant coming out as well. So you're gonna get two new imps.
Now,
that's awesome.
Now you got the Game of Thrones. Do you have any other, and a couple other, I believe I've seen. Do you have any other licensing masks coming out?
Funny you asked that. So previously we had a really awesome license that I loved, and then it was a pet project of Josh for him to bring back into the fold.
So we had a license that we let expired.
But the Toxic Avenger license, we are bringing Toxie back into the fold.
Y'all better stop playing. Stop playing with me. I love Toxic
Toxie
Avenger.
right now.
You can call the shop today, or
You
Monday.
can call the shop right now, but you'll get the voicemail. But you can call the shop or email the shop and place orders for Toxie right now.
Two different variants.
2 different variants. We're doing the Super Toxic Crusader green, so super vibrant green, and Flash or Caucasian version, so very similar to the movie and very similar to the original version that we put out before. But yeah, those guys, we should have new pictures coming out in the next week or so, but those guys are available to order if you email us right now. I think $750 is its working price. Obviously not including shipping, but I am so excited that we brought Toxie back.
Licensed by Trauma.
Nice.
It's just the beginning of where we're going with this. So, but yeah.
So yeah, you'll see Toxie in person at San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know. I think we're gonna take them both to Comic-Con with us. You get to see them at Texas. Sorry, they're coming with us to Comic-Con. I apologize.
Comic-Con.
Now, let me ask you, did you talk about
hold on,
shipping?
Gerard. Let me just say this. I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited that you got Toxie in your line, that you guys have it as a silicone, because as a theater person, Toxic Avenger is a musical, and I love it so much that I'm like, oh, I would remount it. I gotta remount it. And so every time it goes to the design of the character, you're like, how are we going to pull this off? Is it going to be a prosthetic? Is it going to be foam? And I literally said it has to be silicone. And in the meeting of a pre-production meeting and we felt like we couldn't pull it off, so that's why we didn't do the production. But I was like, you got to be silicone, and CFX did come to mind. But at that busy time, I didn't really think it through, or to call you or reach out and call you guys. But I'm so freaking excited that you guys have it, and like I wanted to go back and bring that up so I can make some money in the theater world. But yes,
now you can make it happen.
Well,
yes,
it's
thank
funny
you so
because
much.
we actually, I think about a year and a half ago, somebody had reached out to us. They were doing the Toxic Avenger musical, and we hadn't quite ironed everything out with Trauma to bring Toxie back yet. But we have our Hugo the Mutant, who's kind of an in-between. And so we were able to use Hugo and make him all green and gross and kind of Toxie-like. And that it worked for them in that production. But yes, for us to be able to bring Toxie and Trauma back into the fold, full bore, I'm so excited about. It's something that, like, since we came to work for CFX, I'm like, we need to bring Toxie back. So that's a project that Josh and I are working on for the better part of it, like at least a year. And I'm so excited that we're able to bring back. So that's the biggest license that we have right now. Obviously, we still have the Game of Thrones license. We have a few other things that we may be working on, but nothing solid yet. But yeah, Trauma, Toxie, for sure.
So to be honest with you, going the license route and the IP stuff, there's only certain characters that we want to carry as CFX that we feel are kind of iconic for it. Other than that, yeah, we really want to push our original lineup.
Characters, absolutely.
Right. Well, I'm so excited and about what you guys have coming up in the future. Now, this is a part of the show where you get to tell us what's going on. You get to rehash. You get to have your final thoughts, guest final thoughts, and kind of just talk about where they can find you, what's next in the pipeline. I know we've been talking about all throughout the whole show, but again, just for the let's sum it up for the ones that are just listening and coming in. Are you guys ready to do it? In 5, 4, 3, 2, take it up.
So awesome. This is Tabitha and Josh with Composite Effects, or CFX Masks. You can find us online, obviously, at cfxmasks.com. You can find us on Facebook at Composite Effects. You can see us on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and Twitter at CFX Masks or CFX Unmasked. You can see us at some upcoming conventions at Texas Hunters Convention this July, the 15th and the 16th. You can see Josh and I at San Diego Comic-Con also this July. To pop over at Mask Fest, which is part of Horror Hound Weekend on August 18th to 20th. A new show in Baton Rouge. So if you're local, come see us at the Cult Classic Convention this September 2nd and 3rd. And to round out the year, we are doing IAPA Expo in Orlando this November 13th through 17th. We are very busy this year, but we hope to see you guys at a convention near us. Otherwise, come check out some really awesome masks at cfxmasks.com.
She just did that off the top of her head. I'm just
look.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
Yeah. And killed it. And I mean, I can end the show now, but I want to say thank you guys so much for being on the show. Thank you guys so much for being a good example of what a couple should be in our industry, and just bring your love and support. I'm dead serious. No, I'm dead serious. And every time when I go to a show, Roll tacos. No, but like I look for you guys just to give energy, and you guys do, and we appreciate you in our industry for being just cool people. And to see like you guys in San Diego, and then to see your haunt career changed over to now vending and representing this amazing company and products. I'm proud of you, and I just want to say that.
It's been a wild ride. Thank you, Willie. I appreciate that.
Yeah, woo! Thank you guys. I'm about to cry. I'm trying not to cry or anything because I really do love them, and they're cool people. They're my haunt family, and we've seen each other we've been friends for so long, and so
anytime you want to have us on, just let us know. We're happy to be on.
I know we want to go and visit you guys and have some what do you call them? Crawdads?
Crawfish.
Crawfish. Okay, crawfish. I'm sorry.
It was crawdad in California.
We learned the hard way.
Now it's crawfish out here. Boil season is just about over, but that's just crawfish boil season. That doesn't mean they don't boil anything else. They still boil lobster. They still boil crab. They still boil shellfish. Coming out here, eat all the food.
Let's go.
Yeah,
well, thank you guys so much for the chat. Go ahead, Gerard. Say something.
There was up.
And you gotta love them cages, man. They boil everything out there. Absolutely, that's a good one.
Throw it on the boil.
Sausage, corn, shellfish, mud bugs. Throw it in the boil. It'll be fine.
Hey, is that gonna taste good? I don't know. Add more seasoning.
That's right. That's what they do. Well, thank you guys so much. You guys have a good season and actually success to you guys on the road. Please drive safe, and we'll see you guys there. All right.
Love you guys. See you guys soon. Thanks for having us. All the love.
You. Yes. Wow, that was exciting. What a good show. I again, you guys, I thoroughly enjoy seeing good people in our industry just representing and just holding it down and being successful in it. Again, go to Composite Effects to their website. Get your mask now before the haunt season ends. They still have a lot of products out there that you guys can get and get it going. You know, they're good people and they have good products, and it's so much fun. And they were the ones that literally changed the industry, and I'm so proud to know them. All right, so I just want to say this. I'm excited for our show next Sunday. I want to thank you to our guests Tabitha and Josh for being on our show and sharing their love of haunt and the products at CFX. To my co-host Gerard, thank you so much for being on the show. Also, I want to say thank you to our viewers that held on and engaged with us online on our live show, and our listeners listening to our podcast at home, work, or driving in transit. We appreciate you for your love and support. Please remember to follow, like, subscribe, and share our social media accounts so we can continue to engage while building our horror family. Until next time, guys, I just want to say happy Father's Day once again, and stay scary. Woo! Stay.